So here are several old hymns proving the flat earth model. I'm pressing on the upward way, new heights I'm gaining every day, still praying as I onward bound, Lord plant my feet on higher ground. Lord lift me up and let me stand, by faith on Canaan's tableland, a higher plane than I have found, Lord plant my feet on higher ground. Canaan's tableland, the literal pillars of the earth, the literal four corners of the earth, the pillars of the earth, 1 Samuel 2:8, the four corners of the earth, Revelation 7:1, and also in Isaiah you see the four corners of the earth, and the pillars of the earth are all throughout the scriptures actually. Lord, lift me up and let me stand by faith on heaven's tableland, a higher plane than I have found, Lord, plant my feet on higher ground. So therefore implying that the first plane is the earth itself. Higher Ground by Johnson Ottman Jr. Brian said, so are you saying that heaven is also flat like a table? And I've replied, heaven isn't necessarily just the firmament tent. It can be the second or third heaven, which I'm pretty sure might be flat indeed. Amos 9:6, it is he that builded his stories in the heaven, and hath founded his troop in the earth, he that calleth for the waters of the sea, and poured them out upon the face of the earth. The Lord is his name. The Bible talks about the sea of glass, so indeed, at least the second or third heaven will be pretty flat. You also have that German hymn translated here, the heaven and the firmament show his handiwork, the flat fields too prove earth is flat. As a general expression, the flat fields basically saying that the earth in its entirety is pretty flat. You see the firmament above and the flat fields below. You also have the Son of Righteousness shall shine, in heaven's throne he sits divine, a footstool earth to him shall give, he lives and thou shalt also live. He lives, O fainting heart anew by Johann Olaf Wallen in the 1700s. So the footstool earth, once again, the literal pillars of the earth, the literal four corners of the earth, that's just scripture, and taking the Bible literally. You also have ye works of God on him alone, his footstool earth, high heaven his throne. Ye works of God on him alone by James Merrick in the 1700s. And by the way, footstool earth might be more biblically accurate than just flat earth, so maybe I will call it the footstool earth from now on. So once again, footstool earth. People will not represent it by some floating globe in outer space. You know, that's a Jesuit deception once again. Earnest but a sorry tent, pitched but a few frail days, a short-lived tenement, heaven still my song, my praise, sweet place alone by Samuel Crossman in the 1600s now even, and I feel like the more we go back, the more people were taking their Bibles literally then, you know, earth but a sorry tent, Isaiah 40:22, you know, you have the singular circle of the earth upon which God spread out the heaven as a tent to dwell in. Earth but a sorry tent, pitched but a few frail days. You know, in Hebrews chapter 8, God compares this world, this earth, as a true tabernacle. The true tabernacle, not pitched by man's hands, but by God, because of course Jesus Christ operating the atonement for us at the cross and comparing the earth with the tabernacle. You can also see that in Corinthians, of course, you know, that God has pitched the earth, the tabernacle, pitched but a few frail days, a short-lived tenement. Tenement is all English for a building. So once again, you see the stories of heaven as we just saw in Amos chapter 9 and verse 6, right? Which therefore indicates a flat, firm foundation, which is the earth itself. The tenement, the tabernacle that is pitched, the tent, earth, but a sorry tent, you know? And that's in the 1600s. You also have the coast of all the earth throughout their line is gone unto the ends of all the world abouts. The ends of all the world abouts, which indicates that the south actually surrounds the earth, you know, just like you will have the polar coordination system that ships use to navigate, you know, the radar type of thing that military ships will have sometimes. That's actually a flat earth map, you know, the compass, you know, and in Job it talks about the hawk that stretched out her wings towards the south. So you have two diametrically opposite wings and yet they are stretched out towards the south, which indicate the south, once again, it surrounds the earth. The Bible also talks about in Isaiah God telling the south, directly to the south, bring forth my children back, from the ends of the earth. So God connects the ends of the earth to the south once again. You also have in Job, he has compassed the waters with a bound, and of course the Antarctica ice wall, right? The bounds the ice wall because it's the highest, by far, the highest so-called continent on the earth, and also the most volcanic continent on the earth. It has the most huge mountains and volcanoes. It's in Antarctica. And this is not by coincidence that the first operation, perhaps over there, was called Operation High Jump, because they were trying to jump off that Antarctic ice wall, because it's very huge, that ice wall. You cannot even access this by a huge ship or whatever. You have to have a special equipment, even perhaps helicopters to bring your men up there. Their words do reach unto a tabernacle, he in those has pitched for the sun, who bridegroom like from's chamber goes, glad giants race to run. And it was in the year 1742. So the tabernacle he in those has pitched for the sun. You see the local sun, right? His own circuits in Ecclesiastes. So therefore the sun itself rotates above the earth, and not the other way around, where you have the earth rotating around the sun, which is just Baal sun worship, right? And I added a little quote here. Dr. John Owen, so famous in the annals of Puritanism, declared the Copernican system a delusive and arbitrary hypothesis contrary to Scripture. And even John Wesley declared the new ideas to tend toward infidelity. John Wesley in the 1700s. And this is taken from the book A History of the Warfare of Science with Theology in Christendom, Volume 1. By Andrew Dixon White. So yes, indeed, I also have that fellowship of the Spirit with the Christians of the past, right? And by the way, when you see the word globe in the hymns of the past like that, I think people were also thinking about the snow globe type of thing, not necessarily that Jesuit ball, okay? And John Wesley, once again, he said it tends toward infidelity. And absolutely, Voltaire himself, the atheist deist philosopher, he was saying in his philosophical dictionary, there is no heaven, strictly speaking, there's no heaven, there's only globes, rotating in outer space like ours. You have also the agnostic philosopher de Fontenelle, who says when that firmament and that earth was just that arch, that dome with the stars nailed to it, I felt oppressed. But now that they have given much more outer space, basically, I feel relieved, and so forth and so on. And that was an agnostic. These were philosophers that were pushing the globe, the Jesuit globe, the Copernican Catholic globe, okay? And I literally just typed in flat earth to search on the online hymnary and found 3,836 texts. You can do this on your own. Whereas globe has only 91 texts. 3,836 texts, flat earth, versus only 91 texts for globe. And once again, the word globe doesn't necessarily mean that Jesuit type of floating outer space type of thing, right? And indeed, it's just clearly, earth bears sorry tent, the sorry tent, pitched bear few frail days, the true tabernacle that God has pitched to operate the atonement for us through Jesus Christ at the cross, the earth being therefore the tabernacle. And also in Isaiah 40:22, this singular circle of the earth, right, upon which you have the heavens spread out like a tent to dwell in, which requires, of course, the flat earth basis, and of course with the four literal angels holding the winds on the four literal corners of the earth. Kind of like when you pitch a tent, actually, is as if God pitched the tabernacle with these four angels, kind of. A short list tenements, like a building. His footstool earth, indeed. I'm a footstool earther, if you want to call it that way, I believe in the Bible, and I don't want to follow the Catholic teaching of that Jesuit globe which teaches atheism, environmentalism, communism, evolution whatsoever. I stay true to the Bible.